You are not broke because you lack ideas. You are not behind because the internet is too crowded. You are behind because your attention is cheap. Every day, something can buy it for free. A notification, a tab, a message, a new tool, a small urge to check whether anything changed while you were gone. And while your attention keeps leaving the forge, your future stays theoretical. The dream life does not need more of your interest. It needs one protected block of execution. Because focus is not just a productivity skill. Focus is a wealth skill. You may know the pattern. You sit down to build, but you leave the door open. The phone is near you. The browser has extra tabs. The task is vague. The first step is not decided. Your mind still believes there is an escape hatch. So you work for 4 minutes. Then you check something. Then you return. Then you remember another thing. Then you open a tab that feels related, but is really a softer form of avoidance. By the end of the hour, you were busy enough to feel tired and scattered enough to have nothing solid. That kind of day is dangerous, because it lets you keep the identity of a builder without producing the evidence of one. You can tell yourself you worked. You can tell yourself you researched. You can tell yourself you were learning, organizing, improving, exploring, staying current. But deep down, you know the difference between motion and pressure. Motion makes you feel occupied. Pressure changes the shape of the metal. The private builder has to become honest about where attention goes. Not because distraction makes you a bad person. Because distraction is expensive. It takes the exact material your one-person empire is built from, your uninterrupted mind. In the forge, scattered heat warms the room. Concentrated heat shapes steel. That is the whole lesson. The same fire can comfort you or change something, depending on whether it is focused. Most people live with warm attention. They are interested in the future. They listen to the right videos. They save the right posts. They talk about the thing they want to build. They circle the anvil and call it preparation. But their heat is spread everywhere. 10 minutes on the offer. 7 minutes on analytics. 14 minutes comparing tools. 9 minutes checking a message. 20 minutes recovering from the interruption. Then they wonder why nothing hardens. The steel does not care that the fire was real. It only responds to concentration. Your offer responds the same way. Your content responds the same way. Your skill responds the same way. Your money habits respond the same way. They do not change because you thought about them all day in fragments. They change when you bring one blade into one beam of heat and refuse to move it until the shape begins to shift. This is why focus is tied to wealth. Not because focusing for 1 hour magically makes money appear. Because money follows finished things. And finished things are usually boring before they are valuable. That is why the distracted mind keeps escaping them. The unfinished offer does not give you a dopamine reward every 3 minutes. The sales page does not clap while you write the plain sentence. The outreach list does not make you feel brilliant while you clean it. The skill drill does not look impressive when nobody can see it. But wealth is often built inside those plain hours. The hour where you do not check. The hour where you do not announce. The hour where you stop sampling identities and stay with one useful problem long enough to improve it. Most people do not lose because they are incapable. They lose because they keep abandoning the boring edge where capability is formed. Finished offers, finished assets, finished pages, finished systems, finished follow-ups, finished lessons, and finished proofs that someone else can trust. And finished things require stretches of attention that cannot be constantly stolen. If you cannot protect your attention, you cannot protect your future income. You will always be available to everything except the thing that would change your life. That sentence should bother you. Availability feels harmless until you realize it is a form of poverty. If every app can reach you, every urge can redirect you, and every open tab can recruit you, then your best hours are not owned by your future. They are rented out to whatever knocks first. The few learn to treat attention like capital. They do not leave capital lying in the street. They do not hand it to every passing impulse. They decide where it goes before the day starts. They place it on the work that compounds. Then they guard the block. Not with drama. With standards. This does not mean you become unreachable all day. It means the work that can change your life gets the first claim. Before the inbox. Before the feed. Before the harmless little check that opens a dozen doors. Your future should not have to wait behind every stranger's request. Your future should not have to beg for the scraps of your attention after the world has eaten the cleanest part. One focused block is a declaration of ownership. It says this hour is not public property. It belongs to the builder I am becoming. Today, do not try to become a focused person forever. Win block. 60 minutes. One task. One outcome. No open escape hatch. Before the block starts, write the outcome in one sentence. Not work on my business. Write, draft the landing page hero and 3 offer bullets. Not make content. Write one complete post from hook to call to action. Not learn sales. Write, outline the first follow-up message and send it to 5 leads. The mind escapes vague work because vague work has no edge. Give the block an edge. Second, remove the obvious leaks before you begin. Put the phone in another room. Close every tab that does not serve the task. Open only the document tool or page required to finish the outcome. If music, messages, or browser searches usually become a tunnel, remove them before they negotiate. Do not wait to feel disciplined. Design the room so discipline has less to carry. Third, start with a visible mark. Write the first sentence. Create the blank section headings. Name the file. Open the spreadsheet. Set the timer. Touch the metal. The first visible mark breaks the trance of preparation. It also gives your focus somewhere to return. A blank page is easy to avoid because it has no gravity. A marked page begins to pull you back. Once the sentence exists, improve it. Once the outline exists, fill one section. Once the list exists, send the first message. The goal is not to feel inspired. The goal is to create enough visible proof that the next action becomes obvious. Fourth, when the urge to escape arrives, do not argue with it. Expect it. The urge is not a sign that the block is failing. It is the old identity testing whether the forge is locked. Say this quietly. Not now. Then return to the next physical action. Type the next line. Cut the next sentence. Send the next message. Move the next piece. Focus is rebuilt through return. Not perfect stillness. Returns. Fifth, when the block ends, record the proof. What was finished? What almost pulled you out? What leak needs to be removed before the next block? Do not write a novel. 3 lines. Finished. Leak. Next rule. That is how focus becomes an asset. You turn one protected hour into evidence, then you turn the evidence into a stronger environment. If you finish early, do not reward yourself by reopening the leak. Use the remaining time to refine, ship, or prepare the next block. The block is not over because your nervous system wants novelty. It is over when the timer ends or the outcome is cleanly finished. That is how trust returns. You teach yourself that a promise can survive boredom. You teach yourself that a hard hour does not need an escape hatch. You teach yourself that attention can be gathered again. The life you want will not be built by a distracted version of you who keeps hoping for a cleaner week. It will be built by the version who treats attention like heat. Gathered. Guarded. Directed. You do not need to win the whole year today. You need to stop giving your best hour away. One task. One outcome. One locked block. Put the phone away. Close the exits. Bring the blade into the fire. Today, focus becomes wealth.